Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. There's a link in the description. Gonna read through the full article. It's in regards to an update in regards to the South Carolina mall shooting, which you may well have heard about already. I made a video yesterday in regards to the South Carolina mall shooting, in which 10 people were shot, 14 people in total injured. I believe 4 of those people were injured in the panic, in the bid to flee the area. 4 people got injured in that process, 10 people shot. It was a coordinated shooting by the accounts that we've read through. I'm going to read through this in just a quick second. And they did capture 3 people. They had 3 suspects, one of which has been arrested, but they've been given a $25,000 bond, like a fuck all bond, and they're going to get an ankle monitor, oh no, and they're allowed to return to work. So apparently, your mall shootings, your mass shootings, aren't really that much of a problem nowadays. It's all fine. There's nothing wrong with it, really, seemingly. Nothing much wrong with it, according to your judicial system, you know. I would have thought that if you had arrested a mass shooter, I would have thought that you would hold them without a bond, no opportunity for bail. I would have thought that you would charge them with serious crimes such that they are imprisoned for decades, if not life. Especially if 10 people had been shot. That's what I would have thought, but, you know, who am I? Just some silly idiot on the internet. The right thing to do, according to you guys in America, you know, certainly in South Carolina, the right thing to do is to give a very small bond, put an ankle bracelet on somebody, and then just let them get on with it. You know, apparently. A man arrested in connection with a shooting at a busy Columbia, South Carolina mall that left 14 people injured and sent panicked Easter weekend shoppers fleeing for safety was placed on house arrest. House arrest. So he can be like Tekashi 69 and make some music videos if he wants. Jawayne M. Price, 22 years of age, who was initially detained by law enforcement as a person of interest alongside 2 other men, will be charged with unlawful carrying of a pistol and may face other charges. So he was carrying a pistol. Well, why isn't he being charged with more than that? Do they not have the evidence yet? Certainly, even if he didn't, even if he wasn't one of the shooters, if he was a part of the group, the gang that was shooting and shot 10 people, surely you would want to give him some serious proper charges. A judge Sunday said a pathetically low $25,000 surety bond for this psychopathic scumbag, who is now on house arrest and ordered to wear an ankle monitor. Oh no, what an inconvenience. This scumbag will be allowed to travel from home to work. So his employers haven't seen fit to dismiss him. He's allowed to carry on going to work. He is also prohibited from contacting the injured victims or other persons involved in the shooting. The 2 other men initially detained have been released from police custody. I mean, I presume they've been released for good reason. I mean, you must have detained them with some kind of evidence, surely, South Carolina? I mean, is this the right thing to do, to be releasing your main suspects? 14 people were injured in the shooting and ensuing stampede at Columbiana Center Mall Saturday afternoon, and the victims aged in range from 15 to 73. This article is saying that 9 victims were treated for gunshot wounds and 5 suffered other injuries whilst attempting to flee the scene, including broken bones, lacerations, and a head injury. Now, the article that I read through yesterday said that 10 people had been shot, and that 4 people had suffered injuries whilst attempting to flee the scene. So it's, you know, I can't say which one's 100% correct, but they're both roughly accurate, we would presume. Only one victim, a 73-year-old, remained in the hospital for treatment as of late Saturday night. So there's a blessing. Only one of the victims is still hospitalized. All of the others have been deemed free to go, as it were, in stable condition. Police believe 3 individuals displayed their firearms inside the mall. Early ballistic evidence points to at least 2 different firearms being used by 2 suspects. Police said at least 1 firearm was seized. The shooting was not random, but was an isolated incident between the suspects and likely stemmed from an ongoing conflict. So what does that mean? Well, that means surely that it was gang related, presumably. They were shooting at each other. Is that right? Is that right? They were shooting at each other, just happened to hit 9 or 10 other people with their bullets. I don't understand this. To shoot 9 or 10 people, to hit 9 or 10 people, that's going to mean that quite a few bullets were fired. How can they not take this seriously? Why is this guy just being given house arrest? It's just absolutely insane. The Columbiana Center Mall's Code of Conduct prohibits firearms or illegal weapons on the premises, despite South Carolina permitting open carry of concealable guns. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap things up at this point. There's nothing really more to say, but it's just amazing to me. I don't live in America. My views on gun control are perhaps a little irrelevant because of the fact that I don't live in America. I am pro Second Amendment. And this would be a good example of why I'm pro Second Amendment. I mean, do you want to be in a mall where some guys are shooting at each other or start shooting at other shoppers? Do you want to have a gun to protect yourself and perhaps stop the shooters? Or do you just want to have to flee and hope that you don't get injured in the process? What about your loved ones? Do you want to protect them? You can't protect against somebody with a gun unless you too have a gun. So to me, the Second Amendment makes sense. It enables good citizens to have guns. I mean, ideally, you wouldn't need to have that because there would be no guns or very, very few guns in the first place. But in America, there are huge amounts of guns, and thereby it seems totally reasonable to allow the citizenry to protect themselves in such cases. I'm shocked and disgusted about this case. Number one, why isn't this major news? It's 10 people were injured. Sorry, 10 people were shot in this incident. 9 or 10 were shot. That's major. Okay, thankfully there's been no fatalities, but that's major. Is this getting the media coverage that it ought to get? Or is the media turning a blind eye to this subject? And if it is turning a blind eye to this subject, why is it turning a blind eye to the subject? Is it because Dwayne M. Price and his 2 other cohorts were shooting at each other primarily, even though they shot at least 9 other people? Is that it? Because they were shooting each other? I just don't understand. I mean, how does the judicial system only give a $25,000 bond, an ankle monitor, and house arrest for this guy they believe was at least one of the shooters? It's crazy. But I'm just going in circles at this point. I've made my point. I reckon you agree with it. And if you don't, please tell me. But if you do value this type of content, if you'd like to encourage me to keep on making this kind of content, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. And I'll thank you for your time.